not just with Triton, but when you say about these other groups and everything, we've followed and we've seen so many killer birth groups on Facebook. Let's call them what they are. Those are killer groups. And we've seen people and admins and members of these groups give advice that actually led to death of babies, same way that advice on Triton's page led to death of your baby. And after that, and we've managed to drag some of those people up, okay, and confront them with this and show them obituaries, show them, because their first thing is same as it was for Gavin. It's not real. It was not a real baby. And you show them, look, this person, this baby, this name died. They posted in your group here. You told them to do this. They did that, lost their baby. And when we confronted these people and dragged them, what they said was, well, I did not hold a gun to their head. It's just the internet. And I think it's time that we start treating this as not just the internet. And that's why all that advice and all that thing that goes on with the unsafe sleep in the groups, it's really hard to show it to people that by saying, okay, by enabling promoting of the unsafe sleep, same as with home birth, it's not just the internet. It's not just these stunt birds that are, things that happen on the social media. It's actual real lives lost. And you're responsible. If you took part on that Triton thread, the blood is on your keyboard, on your hands. If you were in your due date group telling a sleep deprived parent to bed share, and that parent loses the baby the week after, you participated in that preventable death as enabler, as someone who directly led to their decision to bed share that led to the death of their baby. People need to start taking responsibility for the crap that they type on social media. And I wish there was a way for this. Unfortunately, there isn't. But we meaning the people who are involved in it, need to raise awareness about that. It's not just the internet. It's someone's baby. It's actual lives at stake. Start treating it like that. Well, I'm not giving advice. I'm just saying what worked for me and everyone lived. That's actually the advice. We are not 3-year-olds. You don't have to say this is advice for something to be advice to someone else. We are capable adults. And by saying, oh, I did this and it worked for me, you're actually endorsing someone else. You're advising someone else, recommending it to someone else. And people only get defensive if something bad happens and you manage to identify them, like, these are your comments. This is what you told this person. This is what happened to that person's baby. And they're like, well, it's just the internet. I didn't do anything, And I think we need to understand that posting on the social media, telling people things carries responsibility. No, you did not directly do it the same way that Triton and her flock did not directly kill Gavin, but they participated because the fake midwife that was mishandling your care took their advice for another, I think it was a total of almost 2 days. Yeah. During which at any point, if anyone had told you to go to the hospital, you would have gone, because I've met you by now and I know what her lies are. And I know you and Michael as people from your interviews and everything, that at that point, during those days, if anyone told you go to the hospital, you guys would have not questioned it. You guys would have not done it. And what happened in the end was that you guys forced your fake midwife to move out of the way so that you can go to the hospital. And that's when she jumped in to pretend that she was driving you and taking you. And I know all the lies that she's told about this, and I know how hard it was for you to get that straight, even when she was testifying and everything. But it was so obvious, at the moment when she realized that she couldn't stop you guys from going to the hospital, that's when she started, oh, baby's heart rate, let's drive quickly to this. Yeah. So the moment when this sociopath realized that you're getting out of their grip is when they start playing, along. So, and then in the aftermath, lying how, well, you were she was telling you to go to hospital the whole time and you guys refused. Like, yeah, okay, so that never happened. So that because the way she was trying to portray herself was, and she was leaving these lies on the internet as well, is that she did everything to convince you to go to hospital, but you were refusing. And it's a complete lie. So people who contribute or cause preventable infant deaths that show up on social media or in real life, if and when confronted about them, will lie that they had played no part, that it was not their responsibility. For all of the people, and this is, if I can send a message to the people following these stunt birth, pre-birth, whatever birth channels, okay, by watching and saying nothing, you are participating, you are enabling, okay? And it's just a statistical, time, same way that in due date groups, babies will die from unsafe sleep. It's just a question of time when one of those shows that you are watching and not doing anything about it will turn into tragedy instead of a stunt birth. So don't enhance them, don't promote them, don't feed them, and try to fight them wherever you can. It's really important. There's no legal way to deal with these channels or these enablers of death, of preventable death, but we, the users, can use our influence to hold them accountable. So don't just follow these channels to, I don't know, as entertainment, because it's not entertainment. Some of them will end up as life and death situations and as deaths. And you don't want to be there to see it if there's a decent bone in your body, because you'll end up like me. See? Like it's not something you will be able, you're not gonna be able to say it's just the internet. Because to me, when that post happened, and when I was so lost and shocked, and what people tried to tell me was that it's just the internet. You shouldn't be. I tried to talk to some people in my real life about how I felt, and even there, I got to be told that it's just the internet. Like, relax. It's not. It's not, and we all need to be holding these social media accountable as much as we can, because that's the only way to prevent that.
The reason we even considered making a channel was because I was like, how many people can we reach? That was kind of like my thought, like, because I was thinking like, okay, I've done Gavin's page, I've done all these things. And I personally like talk to so many people online, and sometimes I have to take breaks because it's just so exhausting of what we do. And I have like, there's actually a lost group we are only home birthers. So it's only home birth, only birth center births, and that's it. And I get a lot of them saying, I have no idea how you have the energy or to do the channel, to talk to people, because they'll see me in other groups getting in fights with people or saying stuff that I'm giving them information that they do not want to hear. People don't always like to hear like the reality to burst those bubbles, And so the reason that the channel was even kind of made was I was like, we have to broaden what we're doing, because it's like, I'm only one person reaching out to people here and there. And I was like, and I'd like to do more. And I feel like it's kind of weird because it's like, I've had years from this, because next month, in February is 8 years that I would have my son. And it's like, people, I think the midwives and everybody thought I would just kind of disappear. They were like, eventually she'll talk herself out and then she'll just kind of disappear or something. But to be honest, exactly what you just said, when you talk to somebody and you try to give them as much information as you can, and maybe you're trying to be nice to them, or maybe you're like, I got to be that bulldozer that's just got to like just bust in there, and then they still don't listen to you, and then they go off and do something else. Like, I personally know people that went off to have home births anyways, and it resulted in a terrible experience, of terrible outcome, and they just disappeared. After I heard about it, I gave them my condolences, and I was like, I'm so sorry this happened to you and your baby. And they knew about me, and then they just kind of just disappear. And then I feel bad, because it's like, I tried to prevent the preventable, and then I can't even be there for you after understanding what your pain is. So the reason I just keep pushing this, and it's like, and I think that's why we have so much support, is because I feel just like you. It's like, we save so many, but I just feel like there's so many more we could be reaching. There's so many more lives. And one baby is like, it's so painful, just one baby. And it's like, and not even my own, not like, he's painful enough, but then I take on all the other ones that I've end up over the years. And you brought up Bambi, but it's true. All the women before me, there was a lot of women that they helped give me the courage to even say anything, because I thought, we've been around. They've just been covering us up over all these years, and nobody knows about it. And that's like the biggest driving force, is it's like, as I've gone on, I'm like, if I can do anything from my son, it is share what happened, share what's going on, and let people know, like, this is preventable, and we should be speaking about this, and at least let people make the choice. Like, you should be informed to make the decision. Anyone can make the choice of having a home birth. That's on them, but they need to be informed. I wasn't. And I know when I'm sitting talking to other mothers and other families that had home births, they weren't informed either. They were getting told the same crap that I was being told. So it's like, if we just keep pushing this out of like what people, I hope, and I know some people don't like, they'll see things, the video, and they don't want to watch it because they're like, oh, she's talking about midwives, or she's talking about home birth, and I don't want to hear it, which it's fine. But I do know that there's those one people that they do hear the message. They do hear what's going on. And I do know we have changed some minds, because I have got messages, and it does make me feel a lot better, because I'm like, oh, thank goodness. And I do push them over to like safe sleep, because I feel like they just are hand in hand. Like what you said, it's like, you got pregnancy and birth, and then nobody thinks about after you have your baby. I feel like you forget about it, like, and I know I did, like, because after we lost Gavin, and then we were pregnant again. That was like the craziest pregnancy ever. And like on so many levels, and I was untreated, undiagnosed. I was like lost. So then when I had the baby, I was like, I'm so happy to have a baby. I have no idea what I'm doing. I was like, what do you do? And I was that mom that just kept checking my kid because I didn't think of like, I'm like, what if I did something wrong? What if I didn't put him in his little onesie properly? Like, I just was like in panic, and it had nothing to do with my kid, who was completely healthy and fine. It was me being just with all the stuff. And it was safe sleep that actually was like, look, these are the things that you can do to keep your baby safe. Beyond that is beyond our control, and there's nothing you can do about it. And so I trusted that. And I did also, probably one of the best things ever was when my husband went back to work and I didn't have all the help and stuff like that, and I was like getting sleep deprived, I was told, just put your baby in the safe environment and just leave them for a minute so you can take a break. And I can't tell you, people are like, there's where the judgment comes in, is like people will be like, you left your baby, you like, yeah. Yes, I had to take a break so I could like survive, because I was thinking, because I was feeding and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to drop my baby because I'm so tired. That's what I was really worried. I thought, oh my, I'll be feeding him and I'll just drop him on the floor. But nobody talks about that. And that is one of the things, is like, when we do all this stuff, nobody talks about it.
You're supposed to be perfect. You're supposed to be able to do that naturally, instinctively. I mean, only people who don't do it right drop their babies out of, sleep deprivation and being overtired. I'm sure, because it never happens to the people who trust their, I don't know, body to always be able and tell them when they are too sleep deprived to hold the baby. It's just so horrible. The pressure, this is peer pressure, and it is being perpetuated in those online communities, because everyone's a perfect parent, everyone's doing this and that, and everyone's secretly judging everyone else, and trying to come off as, no one dare accuse me that I don't love my baby, by the act of, I need a break, I'm going to put you in a safe space, and I'm going to walk out for 5 minutes. That's the best thing that you could do at that point for your baby and yourself, because your baby needs a safe caretaker. And if you need a break, that's the best thing you can do. And it's like, how could you do that? You're supposed to sacrifice yourself. Just, keep on. It will get better eventually. No, it won't. If that's what you are doing, if you are sacrificing yourself, you're just going to keep doing it. And then in your life, not just your kids, but everyone else is going to start using you, because you're going to be an easy target. You're the one who's always doing everything for everyone else, because you feel like it's your duty, and you have no healthy boundaries or no healthy space for yourself. So it won't get better. So if that's the path you're embarking on, it's just going to get worse over time. So that is another dimension of what we try to do in Safe Sleep, is we care, and we really care, not just, care that you are successful in breastfeeding or something. We care about you. We care about you being and remaining safe, caretaker, a safe person, and a healthy person. And sometimes that extends into territories that people don't like it to extend. Everyone, keep your baby safe. We now have in the VBAC group, for example, I think that besides the journalist who did the database, the Gatehouse Media, besides that database, I think in VBAC you have the biggest unofficial database of the midwives. You can search by name and find their disciplinary records. So if you're planning home birth in USA, join the VBAC evidence-based group and search your midwife or birth center, because everyone will be telling you to do your research and start your research there. Okay, we have all the disciplinary records that could be dug up. And if not, just reach out to the mods there, and we will look up behind the scenes without anyone knowing if there are any records or anything we can find on the midwife that you're planning to hire for your home birth. No judgment, no questions asked. Drop us a name, and we will drop you all the crap because there is no, midwife who isn't just fresh out of training, who is a home birth midwife in USA, who doesn't have a trail of disasters and deaths in their record.
Connected to one of those midwives who caused the problem, because if they don't directly have a loss or injury on the record, then midwife that trained them probably does.
Yes, and their partner who was the owner of the birth center or something. So no questions asked, no judgment. In the VBAC group, send the name of the midwife you are thinking of hiring. We will send you everything that we can find on them. And 99 out of 100 times, I hope that will be enough to dissuade you from ever letting that person be entrusted with your baby's life. But, let's see. If you need it, do your research. We're going to do it for you free. No question, nothing. This is something that we do out of our own accord. If there are any official records, we will find them for you. if there are any unofficial records, because a lot of it is just, the testimonies of the previous clients or something that is found in one of those forums, we'll find that. But hopefully our only interest is in giving you the information. Okay. And I'm sure that for anyone who can read, in most cases, that information is enough to, run as fast as you can. And in the VBAC group, you have the examples where people asked about midwife. It was a midwife who has home birth midwife who had multiple deaths under their belt, multiple preventable cases, disciplinary. And the person who was asking was like, okay, thank you. Okay, not having home birth, going to the hospital now. And I'm like, oh, thanks, but not because you are not having a home birth because I hate home birth or what, because when I'm reading through those files, it just gives me the fear for anyone who is in care of that midwife, because they have zero respect or regard for any safety or anything. If you have any questions, I'm sure that Danielle and the people that help her administrate this channel will provide for you the information that is safe and correct. I absolutely trust that Danielle is doing an amazing job here. So thank you for allowing me to talk about this in front of you and with you, first of all. And then thank you for this channel.